Hi, it's Doug James from Deck Chair Property Investors. This is the third in the series, and it probably actually isn't in any running order, but this is the next in the series of discussions, or I should say vlogs, around why I love personally JVing and why I think joint venturing with people in property is such a key way to A, have fun, B, become the best at what you do, C, make money, and the most important of all, gain huge amounts of experience. So if you're just starting out in joint venturing, or rather in property, joint venturing is the way that you probably want to look at it. And then the next thing I always tell people is, I've been in property for years and years. I've been in property for more than 12 years, accelerating my portfolio. And that has led me to realise the best strategies, test them out, use them, and work with different people to find out the best way to accumulate your portfolio or grow your portfolio, make your wealth, make your cash flow. So what I want to share with you is just quickly, before I get into today's point that I want to share, which is all around communication and why communication in joint venturing is probably second to actually having the right deal and working with the right people is the most important thing. But look where I am today. I'm standing here on the beach I shot the last one on, and it is a stunning place, this. So what I want to share with you, as I say, is why is joint venturing important, and why do I think it's one of the best strategies? But knitted into that is the most important part of it, and that is communication. Once you've found the strategy that fits you to making wealth and cash flow, which is really about deals and money. If you want to grow a big portfolio, you're going to run out of money at some point. Doesn't matter how wealthy you are. Everybody in property will tell you that unless you just want to plod along, you'll run out of your own money. So you want to raise money, and you're also going to look for property deals, and they're really, really hard to come by. The really good ones and the profitable ones are really hard to come by. Why do you think it's so difficult actually to get going? I know that everybody says it's easy, but joint venturing, as I said at the beginning and I've said on the other vlogs, is really, really important. It is very key for me and my strategy, and that is, I say, 12 years in, been in property 17 years. But why is it really important? Because it still means I can expand my business, I can have property investments in different people's gold mines, if you're using that saying, which is meaning it's outside of my key geographical area. One of the points I make in the early vlogs is that if you're starting out in property and you get sold these strategies and these different ways of making money, and you head up north and you're based in the south of the UK and you head to a different geography, it is really difficult to find the property. Then it's really difficult finding builders and tradesmen. Then it's really difficult to find the right estate agent, and so on and so forth. So most people I know lose money on many of their property deals in the first place. So joint venturing enables you to absolutely get the best relationship with the best person in the best gold mine. They can prove it all, that they've done it for years before, that you aren't therefore taking much risk. So when you therefore have found that relationship, so I'm going to head on down the beach. It might get a bit dark on me, so I'll try putting it on the side here and carry on chatting to you as I walk back down the beach today. So the reason why communication is going to be one of the most important tools, key parts, I should say, so lots of there, and apologise for that, but key parts to joint venturing is because it's like any relationship. It's like a marriage without benefits, as people have said to me. It's like, I'll try walking backwards so I'm lit the right way. It's like, no, that's not going to work. It's like having a business of any type, a business that you are wanting to make profit, wanting to grow the bottom line, wanting to make a return on your investment, whether it's a short business that you've owned or own, or whether it's a long-term business. Most businesses are long-term, that's for sure. Well, the thing that breaks a business, in my view, and again, talk to many entrepreneurs that have been very successful, my view is communication and money. Why those two things? Well, communication, because you end up making some good money. You don't stop talking to each other. You're taking each other a bit for granted. You're thinking what they're thinking, or you believe you're thinking what they're thinking. So you stop talking, you stop communicating, you stop having those regular meetings. And then you start thinking, hang on a minute, are you doing more work than your joint venture partner or your business partner? Even in a traditional business, it starts to make your mind think. Why? Because you're not communicating. If you were communicating and you were still seeing each other regularly, speaking regularly, meeting back where you kicked that business off. It's something our chairman said to me years ago, is that a great thing to do is to have a meeting regularly. That might be quarterly, it might be monthly, but to have a regular meeting at the place where you decided, and you met the person, you decided to kick that business off or that joint venture off. It will bring back all the memories of the excitement and the buzz. That's the key reason why they say that. But seriously, I've been in business with a number of people, and I can guarantee if you do not keep those communication channels open, if you do not look for the telltale signs of why somebody might not be believing that you are still the value that you were when you got into that venture. I'm not just talking about a venture in property that you started and is only going to last 6 months. That, could be just an in and out, a build to sell, convert to sell. But what I'm talking about is lots of joint ventures are for the long term. I mean, you could be building a portfolio with your joint venture partner. You could be in business with them for 5 or 10 or 20 years. And then you start taking them for granted. You start believing that that money is just going to keep pinging into your bank account and that you are going to continue to get rich. And they think, hang on a minute, they're not pulling their weight. They're not doing anything. The value of this relationship is now, stacked against them. They believe that, they're more valuable than you. And it all comes down to, I genuinely believe, hugely comes down to communication. So the minute you stop communicating, as I said, you know what happens? You start thinking that you are more valuable than the other party. You start realising that there's actually a better relationship out there. I'm not being funny, but it's only the same as any business, or even, let's say, relationship in life. Friends, could be marriage, could be any person that you're in a relationship with, and you stop talking to them, you start taking them for granted. That is why communication for me is so important in investing in property together. If you're not on the same page, year one, week one you may be, year one you may be, what about year two, what about year three? People think it's easy to get into these relationships in property, and I can tell you it is. It's very, very costly and time consuming to get out of them if you want to get out of them without it being amicable and at the wrong time. So that is me, Doug James from Deck Chair Property Investors. Look, there's a lovely dog coming bounding down the beach towards me. And what I wanted to share with you is that today. So please reach out to me. It's Doug James from Deck Chair Property Investors. You can get me on my email, which is joindougjames@gmail.com. And I trust you'll enjoy this little vlog, this little podcast from this little episode on why I love joint venturing, but why property investing with communication around joint ventures is so important. So appreciate you guys as always, and look forward to the next podcast or vlog on joint venturing. Take care guys, speak to you all soon.